Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the live this morning. I am super excited you're here. It's fun to see you all hopping on. I see lots of comments already. So as you're getting on today, leave me a comment. Say hello. Let me know you're out there watching. And I'd love to hear what you're excited about for this release. Are you coming because something has piqued your interest, or are you just happening by because you want to see what's new, or maybe learn something new? Tell me, why are you popping in today and what you're excited about? I would love to hear from everyone. That's part of the fun of the lives for me, is being able to chat back and forth with you, to see that you're out there and enjoying and learning and having fun. So let me know. I am super excited about today. If you watched our product reveal video on Saturday, then you saw that this week is our summer release, and I'm ready for a luau today. I found this shirt recently and I thought, what a better time to wear it. I probably couldn't come up with a better time to wear it. Actually, I have already worn it once to Henry's Moana themed party, so it was perfect for that as well. But I am ready for summer. It was a little chilly yesterday and we are back to 80s today, so I am happy about that. And I'm excited to show you guys what's new for summer. It did already launch this morning at 9 a.m. So raise your hand if you've already got your order placed, or maybe you're waiting to see what I have to say and share this morning, which is a-okay too. So I am going to say hi to a few people, and then we're going to talk through a few of our new products. I've gotten some new samples from the design team since we did our product reveal video over the weekend, so I'm going to share those. And then, of course, we're going to get to crafting. I have lots of tips and tricks today, and I think you guys are going to love the summertime sips that we're going to be using. So let's say hello. Hi, Angie. Hi, Anne. Vicky's here this morning. Greetings, April. Loving the citrus and the cocktails. Shelly says I need a grass skirt. Very nice. We had grass skirts for Henry's Moana party. I should have brought one today, Whitney.
What were we thinking?
I know. How did I not think of that? Oh, Shell says she loves the mason jar. Deb already got her order placed. Hello, Bobby. Lisa's here, and Linda got her order placed as well. Hi, Kim and Sally and Valerie. Oh, Valerie wants to know where I got my shirt, and she needs it for her cruise. So I got it at TJ Maxx, actually, and it was this season, so not too many weeks ago, maybe about a month ago or so. So you might be able to still find it. I think the brand is Cynthia Rowley.
I love that.
Yeah, kind of. They had some fun, cute stuff. So I always like to look around TJ Maxx. I'm kind of like a hunter. I know Whitney prefers to go to the stores where, you know, the outfit is made for you on the mannequin.
Yes.
And I like to go to the ones where you have to like dig and hunt and see if you can find your size, and I don't know. I don't have time for that, but when I do choose to go shopping, that's how I like to shop. So TJ Maxx is one of my favorites. All right, you guys, let's get to talking about the products that released this morning at 9. We have a couple of bundles for you, and as with all of our bundles, we put those together as a convenience for you. So if you know you love everything in this curated collection, you can do a one-click and grab the bundle. However, everything is available separately, and these items will remain in our collection. So I know sometimes when we put bundles together, there's questions or confusion. These are not kits. The kits go away after they sell out, but our bundles are just to give you the convenience of purchasing everything all together, but those individual products remain part of our catalog. So let's check out the two summer bundles we have. The first one I alluded to, you guys are gonna love this summertime sips. How fun. We love a good cold drink in the summer.
That's our fun time.
Whether with or without vodka, I think it's great either way. I love a good cold lemonade. I also like a blended drink by the pool. So whichever way, you can use the glasses in both directions. And so we have a mason jar lemonade glass, and then we have this more beach hurricane style glass that you can picture yourself in a cabana. So I think really fun stuff. Let me show you some new samples that we have from design team members. This one features the Summertime Sips Hurricane Glass from Emily Midlowski. Look at that cute shaker bits in there. We're going to be using those today during the live, so I'll get to share more about our new ice cube embellishments. And I think this is super fun. The addition of the strawberries, and she's got like a strawberry lemon drink in there. So cute.
Yum!
I know. And this checking in background. I love it. It looks like a little outdoor picnic table. So very, very cute. Then we had Jill Hawkins. She made something with the mason jar. She kind of went the pink lemonade route as well with the pink glass. And I love that with the ice cubes in it. She even put some die-cut ice cubes and a little die-cut lemon slice in there as well. So super fun with both the mason jar glass and the hurricane style glass, both of which can be made into shaker elements. So let me show you our second bundle. This one is called All Around Summer Town. It's perfect for all of those summer scenes you are imagining, like going to the beach.
Yes!
I know, I love it, whether it's, the ocean beach. We don't get to do that around here, but we have lots of lovely lakes, and I love a good beach card with the lighthouse, the cute little surf bus, the palm trees, the little crab also. Super cute. And then in addition to the seaside view on this all around summer town, we have a carnival view as well. So I'm going to show you some samples and you'll get to see both of them. So another new card from Emily Midlowski. Love this color combo, kind of pastel looking. I love how she made the map have the kind of lake in the middle of the ocean area here, or the ocean in the middle of the sand. And I think that's super fun. The sailboats on the ocean, and then she's got the other icons kind of scattered about. So super, super cute. And then speaking of the carnival, Jill created this one featuring, I think, just about every icon from that stencil, which...
Good job, Jill!
Jill is amazing at combining and creating scenes, and I just love how she stacked up this kind of grassy area for all of her little carnival pieces. Very fun way to use these, not only for a summer birthday, but a kid's birthday throughout the year. I think these are going to be versatile and fun. One of my favorite sentiments in the set is actually wishing you, or what does it say? Something about big top birthday wishes.
Yes.
Sending big top birthday wishes. I think that'll be a cute one that I'll use often. So there you have our two bundles. We do also have a special promotion. So our $100 freebie changed for this release. So we have an exclusive one that started this morning with the launch of the release, and we want you guys to send summer. So get your cards out in the mail. That's what this is all about. When you purchase $100 or more, you're going to get our Sending Summer kit. And I'm going to show you the pieces of this because I always think everything looks cuter in real life. Actually, you're not in real life, but then it can be captured in a picture, because look at these fun foilets. Life is better with a cold drink in hand. These are our insiders panels that you can actually foil as well. So I foiled them in a variety of our fun summery colors. We've got dragon fruit and lime zest and Cookie Monster. Also keep this in mind this summer: how to have a beach body, have a body, and go to the beach.
Woo!
So I love it. I know. I love these insiders. Put that in a card to your friend and it is bound to make them smile. So we also have A2 envelopes. You get 10 of them in this pack in a series of summery colors. There's 5 different colors here. Really fun. I took one of our new stencils and just blended tone on the flap of the envelope. So the envelopes don't come with that detail, but really easy to add yourself as well. Oh, Amrita said she's really loving the consumable freebie option. Good. I'm glad to hear that, because yes, you can earn this multiple times and then you can have even more products. So this will be our freebie all the way through next week, Tuesday, or until supplies last. So we have some busy things happening this week. Tomorrow we have our combo club. So I'm going to be live again then. And then we have summer school this weekend. So lots of opportunities to earn this. And the last item in this bundle is the Sticker to It Sweet Summer. These are envelope seals that coordinate with the imagery in both of the bundles. So you've got a little bit of citrus. We have some drinks in there. We have our cute little crab and carnival imagery. So lots of things to work with all of the imagery. Let's see. Stephanie's asking if the insiders will be available later. We don't have plans to bring these insiders out. They will likely remain just part of the bundle, or the freebie, I guess I should call it. All right, should we get crafty together today?
Yes!
Okay.
I'm excited to see your project because you know I'm obsessed with these little ice cubes.
The little ice cubes really just make these shakers so much fun. And I'm excited to create with them and give you some tips and tricks for creating this shaker element. I also feel like I should talk about my nails because everybody always has been saying on the lives that I've done since I got them done how much they love my summer nails. So if you need a nail salon idea, this one was super fun. Okay, so let's get started with some die cutting. We're actually going to put together the shaker element first, and there's a bit of die cutting that I didn't do ahead of time because I wanted to be able to walk you guys through exactly the pieces you're going to need in order to make this into a shaker. So let me grab my die cut machine here. This is the Summertime Sips die set, and you have these two dies which make your glass. You have kind of a base die, and you don't have to use the inside die. You can use it to create the actual liquid in your glass, and you don't have to make a shaker out of it. Or you can take it out entirely, and maybe you want to use this as a vase. It kind of looks like a fun large vase for maybe a 5x7 card. I just thought of that right now, so maybe you'll see that in the future. But yeah, we're going to use these two pieces of this set to create our glass shaker. And I need to have one piece cut out of sugar cube that has the inside cut out as well. So let me get my tape ready as soon as I have that in place. I do want to have these snipped apart because I don't always want to cut this into a frame. Sometimes I need that base piece. For example, when we are wanting to hold our shaker bits inside, we need our acetate to be cut out of the full base layer. But for this first one, we're gonna cut out the inside as well. Kim said she bought both bundles and also had to replace her washing machine. But, you know, she has her priorities, right? You might have to wear dirty clothes for a little while, but you'll be stamping with new things. So, okay. There's that. Now we can set this aside, the inside piece, and we're going to take this outer piece, and this is going to be the base, or if you want to think of it like the backer to our shaker. And we're going to slide that through.
I always get nervous making shakers, so I love it when you guys show me how to do this. I'm like, I need that little push to be like, you can do it!
Yes. And I think shakers are one of those things, there are a lot of different ways you can do shakers. You could do this as a recessed shaker, but this is a shaker that's actually built on top of my card as opposed to recessed under the card. So I think it just is a little bit of kind of thinking through how do I want to achieve this shaker, and sometimes that can be intimidating. So, but I think overall shakers are really simple to do.
And people love getting them.
Yes. They're not too tough to mail either. I think some interactive cards can be difficult. Okay, so what I have here now is a piece of acetate, and I'm going to, as I mentioned, cut that entire base layer without the inside cut it into it. I'm going to cut that entire base layer out of acetate. Hi, Gail. Gail's here. She says, finally got here. And I'm wondering if you said finally got here. Did you have trouble finding us today? I know we've been talking about this transition for a little while, that we've been going to transition to doing fully YouTube lives. And we've been hoping you can still find us through Facebook with a link. So I'm curious if you had trouble, or anybody else, feel free to chime in, because we want to make sure this is easy for you to access.
We want all our friends here.
Yes.
Everyone's welcome.
Invite your friends to the party.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing I'm going to die cut. So I guess I'll go over the glass pieces that we have so far. We have this piece, that's going to be our back piece that we glue our shaker down onto. And then we have this piece, that's going to be where you can see the shaker bits through the glass. We're keeping this piece so that I can blend the kind of inside liquid of the drink onto this piece. And then we have our base piece of acetate. Now for the base piece, I probably will cut off this bottom part of the glass, because we don't need that. We only need this part that's going to cover our shaker opening. So those are the 4 pieces that we have so far. Now let's create this fun straw. I know I talked about in our video for the product reveal, I was going to show you guys how to make this straw in a unique way. So this is something that one of our graphic designers, Erin, she designs a lot of our products, and she came up with this method as a way to create those striped elements. Whether you're doing a candy cane or a straw, you want your stripes to go all the way to the edge of your die cut piece. But you know what you don't want to do? You don't want to sit and adhere every single little stripe onto the die cut piece. So here's your solution. I think it's amazing. We are going to take this piece of yellow cardstock. This is going to be the color of my stripes, and I'm going to cut that out of the striped die cut. Okay, that's good. She said she didn't have any trouble getting here, just made a big breakfast for her husband and son who's visiting. That's fun.
Aww.
I love that. Breakfast is my favorite meal.
Me too. Ooh. Give me sweet, or give me an omelet, cinnamon rolls,
Cinnamon rolls,
pastries.
I know. I think, well, my birthday's coming up, in case you haven't heard me talk about that enough. And I think John and I have decided we're going to go out for breakfast for my birthday. So I will be eating those cinnamon roll kebabs that they have at the restaurant here. I love those.
I love those too. They like deep fry cinnamon roll pastry or something.
And they put them on kebabs.
Yeah.
I'm not a real big meat kebab eater, but I like fruit kebabs and cinnamon roll kebabs. Okay, so we've cut this striped piece. Now the next step is going to be to adhere this down to the other color that you want your straw to be. So in my case, I'm going to put it on this piece of sugar cube cardstock. I only need to add the adhesive to the striped pieces here. So just a second, let me get my glue working again here. Okay. So I only need to put the adhesive right on these stripes, not around the whole edge of the die cut. Okay, see how that looks? And then we're going to tack that down here. Let that glue settle in just a second. And we're going to take our actual straw die cut. So this one is quite a bit wider than I think what a normal straw. This is like a smoothie straw width. This is your regular straw that you want to use for the die cut. And we're going to place that over the top. I'm going to tack it down. You just want to make sure that that die cut edge is fully inside of that outer outline around the stripes. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll hold it up here a little bit closer so you can see. We do have another set that works the same way. We did this with our candy canes that are in our gingerbread house set this last Christmas release. So you can see that that die cut is just fully inside of that outline of the straw. And then we're gonna go ahead and send this through. We're now cutting through 2 layers of cardstock. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back and forth just a couple times to make sure it gets through all of the layers. You can see on the back too, before you try to punch it out, whether you've made it through. And then we're just gonna pop this out, and the stripes that we adhered down to the white are stuck to the straw die cut. Isn't that perfect?
That is so fun.
Mary says, genius idea. It really is. It makes it so much easier to get the look that you want without all the trouble and the fuss of gluing all the stripes down.
Yes.
I think for years I didn't want to make candy canes for that very reason, because I wanted them to look a certain way, but I didn't want to do the thing until Miss Erin had her genius idea. I didn't want to do the thing to make it look the way I wanted to. All right. Let's go ahead and put together our shaker element. So I'm going to bring in all of the pieces. I'm going to put a Post-it note on my acetate because I will lose it. We are going to take our piece here that is the inside of our drink, and I am going to blend that. I'm going to use blue raspberry ink to get a blend of dark to light, so kind of an ombre blend with the blue raspberry. I'm going to leave my die cut pieces in there while I blend. I love that versatility. Hold my die cut pieces and my ink pad at the same time. So I'm starting out at the bottom, kind of getting the majority of the ink off of my brush down there, and then I'll continue up the white piece. Getting a little bit lighter. When there's less ink on the brush, it gets lighter and lighter towards the top. And then we can go back if we want some additional dark ink towards the bottom. Bring that up into the ombre, and it lightens up at the top. It just wants to crease up on me today, but I think it's okay. All right. Now, we're going to take and adhere this piece onto the base of our shaker. So this is going to be the base, and then we're going to adhere this piece over the top to hold our shaker bits inside. So in order to make sure that I center this piece perfectly, I'm actually going to take and place this over the top. We'll put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. And if I take my removable adhesive, I can put just a little bit of that at the top here, hold it in place on this piece. And then this just falls right back in like I'm putting a puzzle together, and it's going to stick down to that base layer. And we'll actually peel up this top layer. And then when we're ready to put our whole shaker element on, I know that this will be in the exact spot that I need it to be. So next important step is to place that piece of acetate behind our framed opening. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take a scissors and just snip off the bottom part of this cup on the acetate layer. We don't need that, and it's just going to kind of get in the way. So we will put some adhesive then around the outside of this frame. I'm going to use just regular tape runner. A lot of times I like to use tape runner when I do this because liquid glue sometimes even given my best efforts, tends to squirt out onto the acetate, and then you have a mess on your hands. What color ink on the drink? That was blue raspberry. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we are ready to put our foam tape on so that we can build this shaker up. I have the perfect solution because of this kind of thinner line all the way around the outside. I like using our foam sticky strips. The great thing about these is they can be formed and curved to fit around different shapes. So I think I only have one foam sticky strip left in this container. So let's use it up.
Make it last.
Use it up and move along to the next package. Kind of got stuck down here.
That actually
Farewell.
brings me a small amount of joy.
It does. I love using up the last of something.
Me too.
Especially at home too, when I'm in the pantry and I'm like, oh, who put this cracker box in here with 5 crackers left?
Yes.
My children do that all the time.
Yes.
Like, just eat the last 5 crackers.
Just eat the crackers.
So it brings me some small amount of joy to eat the last 5 crackers and then throw the box away. Because apparently nobody else wants to do that. Okay, so as we are kind of forming this around, I'm staying within that framed line, and we designed this perfectly so you have enough space to put this foam tape and keep your, I guess, hide your foam tape behind the frame. And you just kind of curve it with your fingers as you're going. It really is pliable. Sometimes some people say they like to remove the backing paper before they start applying the foam tape, and that makes it more shapeable or easier to shape. So you could try that too. I just kind of crinkle the backing paper as I move around the shape, and that seems to be fine. We're going to put this tiny little piece that I had left there, and then I will pull my other pack. Got some little extra pieces. Nothing goes to waste here. So okay, we're gonna close off our shaker to make sure everything stays. I'm gonna put a little bit of foam up at the top as well, and then we want to make sure that our bottom is built up as well. So we'll take and put that last little bit, and then I'll hold it up into the camera so you can see exactly where I've put all of the foam tape. So basically just covering that outer edge and adding a little bit at the bottom as well. Okay, so I have a tried and true method for making this particular shaker, and it is through learned experience. So when I first created this project, I used this top part to kind of dump my shaker bits in. Well, I found that these little ice cubes, they like to lay on their side. So dumping them in didn't really give me the ability to make sure they were a certain direction. And it didn't really change my card too much, but they do get kind of stuck. If they're on their top, they can get a little bit stuck in there. So a few of them are kind of stuck where they're at, which also isn't a bad thing. But if you really want them to move around, then here is my solution for that. I've got my bits and pieces ice cubes. I gotta show you guys these up close because how fun. These are little acrylic bits that look like ice cubes.
I know, I can't get over it.
They're so cute. Okay, so I'm actually gonna use some of these, take them and place them down onto my shaker, like drink area, until I feel like I have enough. The great part is these glasses are pretty small. You don't have to use a ton of the shaker material. And then I'm going to come back. I need to get down close and see if any of my shaker bits are kind of on their end instead of on their side. So I want my shaker bits to be on their side so that they shake around better. So I'm just kind of flipping them without making a big mess here. This guy does not want to flip. Come on, little guy. There we go. Sometimes if you talk to them, it helps. Or is that just me? Does anybody else talk to their craft supplies? Come on, little guy, you got this. Okay. I feel good about that. And I think that looks like a good number of ice cubes. I should bring in my other one and see. Maybe a few more. You know, life is better on the rocks. So we better have a good amount of rocks in here.
Can you zoom in a little bit so we can see that?
Sure.
Once you place those.
Okay. All right, let's zoom in there so you can catch all of those little guys, because I can't pick it up. That would be a bad decision. So for now,
we'd have to start over.
Yeah, for now we'll zoom in, and I am going to take the backing paper off of this then. And we're just going to line it up perfectly with the back layer that our little ice cubes are laying on and glue that down. And if you are just slightly off on your layer, don't worry, you can trim that back layer as well. Sometimes I know when you're trying to perfectly place something and you get it a little off, it can be frustrating, but you don't want to try to pull it up if you're specifically putting this down too.
When do you put in your straw?
Oh, yeah, thank you for saying that. So I haven't glued this top part yet, so let's not glue that down. And we're gonna slip the straw behind here. Was somebody else asking, or was that? Oh, Karen,
Thank
Rachel,
you.
Mary, don't forget your straw. Okay, so I did notice that on Heather's card, she put her straw in the front. Which,
yeah, that's where I wasn't
if you
sure.
had forgotten, you could do that, but thankfully I had you all to keep me on the straight and narrow here. And now we can push that together. And we got our ice and our straw. Cute, cute. It looks like everybody's like, straw, straw. Okay, so we're gonna come out now that we have finished that shaker element, and I love how cute it turned out.
Oh, it's so
love it,
cute.
love it. We do need to put our little drink umbrella in there, which we can do with this top closed. Actually, you can just cut off a little bit of this, or you can even just adhere it behind as well. I think I'm gonna go like this and tuck it. So I'm going to cut this off just a touch, put a little bit of adhesive on the back of my little umbrella, and kind of tuck it right in here. And then we'll adhere it down to our card panel when we're ready for that step. So actually it might be better to just wait until we can tuck it into our card panel. So we'll set that little guy aside for now, and we're gonna finish up the rest of the project. So this was the other part that I wanted to show you guys today, a little bit something different that I think I often forget, but I love a good faded stencil blend. So a lot of times I get excited about the stencil pattern and I just blend it all over, but I think it gives a really unique and interesting look when you just fade it from one edge of the design. So we are going to take our piece of saltwater taffy cardstock, and that is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to tack it down here. And then this is our new 1-layer stencil, which I think is really fun and versatile. It looks like fruit, stacked fruit. But it can also, I can see things like flowers, like little half flowers inside of there. So I think this is going to be one that I'll use often, not just for the citrus cards. All right. I'm going to tack that down with some teal tape. And I'm going to grab my lighter blue blender brush with the Saltwater Taffy ink pad. And I'm going to start up in this top corner here. Might actually put down one more piece of teal tape. And we're going to start blending. I'm not even brushing off or starting off on my cardstock because this color is so light to begin with. I do like the ability to kind of pull this up and see how things are looking, especially if I'm planning to fade it out. I can kind of get the idea of how far I've come with the ink and how much more I need to go. Because it is hard when you're blending tone on tone, especially with lighter colors, to see how far the ink has applied through the stencil. So I'm getting increasingly lighter as we go down towards the other end. And let's pull this up and just see where it's at. I think that looks fun. I could maybe go a little bit farther down here, but actually my little piece of wood is going to cover that up anyway. But we'll stick this down just because. Okay. And we'll go a little bit more down here. Looks great. All right, so I have my piece of wood grain cardstock. So we have this cardstock that already has the wood grain embossed into it. And I'm going to adhere that on the bottom. And then we'll put our drink down next. I'm going to save you little umbrella. All right. Just very slightly left from center, because I have my sentiment that sticks out towards the right. So that's going to make everything look balanced. Now let's put our umbrella down. Okay, a little bit of adhesive on the top of that umbrella with a little bits and pieces pink glitter drop. Oh, thank you. You got exactly the one I needed out.
It was meant to be.
And we'll do our little dot here. Okay. Have a little slice of fruit. So my half slice is going to go at the bottom here. I'm actually going to build that up with some foam tape so that it sits kind of like it's leaning on my glass. Take a little bit of foam. And this will make it the same height as my shaker element. So that's why I'm using this foam tape. And then just a touch of glue, liquid glue down at the other end, and we'll lean that here. And then before we put it on our card base, we need our sentiment. So let me grab my Misty. I'm going to be using the Let's Chill set, which I think has such good sentiments in it. It is designed to go with the Summertime Sips bundle. So it has some citrus sentiments in it, Squeeze the Day, Sit Back and Relax, You're the Zest, another good one. I'm going to use Life is Better on the Rocks. So let's pull that one out. Have my, I think I used dragon fruit cardstock on this one. And we'll powder our cardstock first to get rid of any of the oils that might have soaked in from my fingers touching it or just any static. Grab my VersaMark pad. Okay. What is everyone's favorite summertime drink?
Ooh.
I feel like I want to know this.
They have this dragon fruit lemonade refresher thing
At Starbucks?
Yes.
Oh, have you tried
I
it?
don't know if they had it this year, but they had it last year. The dragon fruit was my favorite. I found I really like that flavor.
Dragon fruit?
Mm-hmm. What do you like?
I was going to show at the end my favorite drink because I have it here with me today.
Ooh.
Okay, so we have that stamped in VersaMark white fine detail embossing powder to put over the top. Pineapple mojito. Kim likes a gin and tonic. A blue Hawaiian. Well, I guess if you ask me my favorite alcoholic beverage versus my favorite just, you know, everyday beverage, I don't have an alcoholic beverage here with me today, in case anybody's thinking I'm drinking behind the scenes here. Just my favorite everyday beverage to share with you. All right, we'll let that cool just a little bit. Day iced tea night margaritas for Kelly. And then I'm gonna take my microfiber cloth and just buff that off so I bring back that nice bright dragon fruit color. Then we're gonna bring back the die cut machine and die cut the sentiment. Probably should have figured out which one of these was the right one. Do I get it on the first guess? I did. Love that.
Have you ever had a lava flow?
No.
Sherry just posted it's her favorite drink, but I had one. It's a pina colada with like strawberry puree.
Oh, puree.
Yes, just on top so you can like stir. It was actually really good. It's not too sweet.
Yum. I do love, peach is probably my favorite flavor.
That's true.
And I love the Wallaby Darn at Outback. That's one of my favorites. I also like a lemon drop. That is probably my favorite. And
I like a nice tart lemon drop.
Yeah. You like tart. Whenever we go out, you always ask them to leave the sugar off the rim.
Yes.
And I'm like, you can put the extra sugar on my rim, please. I like the sugar on the rim. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and place that sentiment down. I'm gonna pop it up on the right side of the sentiment. So we'll get some more of this same foam tape so that it's at the same level as the shaker element. And then a little bit of either liquid adhesive or tape runner to adhere that other edge. And then I've got a card base to put it down onto. Cute, cute. I just adhered it since we've got so much dimension already going on. I just adhered it straight down to my sugar cube cardstock. Pop that on the card base. When my card is simple, like I would consider this a clean and simple card. There's not a lot going on. And a lot of times I like to draw the eye into the center to the focal piece here. And so I cut my layering panel just slightly smaller than a normal A2 layer. So instead of 4 by 5 1/4, This is 3 3/4 by 5. So it gives you a little bit more of that thicker white border on the edge, which I think draws your eye into the middle of your card and that fun shaker element. So cute, right? All right, well, shall we come back and show everyone one of my favorite drinks?
Woo!
And then get you guys on your way where maybe you can enjoy the day, hopefully outside in the summer sun. All right, ready? Okay, so something you should know about me if you don't already, I don't drink coffee and I don't drink tea. I don't like them, sadly. And I have to get my caffeine in another way because also I have children and one of them still keeps me up at night. So my choice of caffeine lately has been energy drinks. A lot of times I've talked about Alani and how I like those. Well, we have a new shop that has popped up in our town, and we actually have a couple of them. The coffee shops also seem to be making these energy drinks now. And so my favorite thing in the morning is an energy drink. This is from a business called Hyper, and this is peach, pineapple, and vanilla energy drink. So it's
yum.
fizzy like an energy drink, like an Alani. Also gigantic. I got a large today. I have to make a drive across Iowa to drop my daughter off at volleyball camp for the week. She's going to be gone. And I still get a little emotional about that. She doesn't want me to get emotional. I told her this morning she needed to give me a hug before we left the house because I knew she wouldn't want to give me a hug when she got to camp, and she got all flustered. And anyway, we're at that age, but that's what I'm doing later, and the reason why I needed an extra large energy drink today. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Susan will be here on Thursday with the live, so make sure you pop back on Thursday at 10 o'clock. And I will be here tomorrow for our Combo Club live. So I know that's a little different than you guys are used to. So typically we do our Combo Clubs on Friday, but we have kickoff for summer school on Friday. So this time we're doing it on Wednesday. And then Friday we have our summer school kickoff, and Saturday we have summer school.
Woo!
So it is a packed week of almost daily lives with Tailored Expressions. So I'm excited to see you all later this week, maybe even tomorrow. All right, everybody, have a great day.